Hey you! Welcome to Good News with the Christ Bearer. There's never a bad time for good news, and I'm glad to let you know today, God's got good news for you. One of the most common things that we see in our world is people who are so quick to backstab others. Sure, they'll speak words that are loud and proud, but only behind someone else's back. And what's their goal? They want to tear a person down and rip their reputation to shreds. We see Jesus in those very crosshairs today. You may recall, his own family has called him crazy. The leaders of the church are certain that he's been duped by the devil. But Jesus wants to come to his own defense. Let's cut to the chase and hear all about it in Mark chapter 3, verses 23 to 26. Jesus called the teachers of the law over to him and began to speak to them in parables. How can Satan drive out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan opposes himself and is divided, he cannot stand. His end has come. Our Lord Jesus wants to confront all those who would oppose him face to face. Not only does he want to show them their faulty logic, he needs them to understand how bad their theology is. So Jesus speaks to them in parables. You probably learned that a parable is an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. That's a good start. With these words, Jesus wants to put a situation in front of those hearers that would cause them to change their minds, to change their hearts, and to change their lives. He wants to convince everyone who believes that he's been deceived by the devil himself to see Jesus as the very Son of God. And so he poses this thought. It doesn't make any sense for Satan to drive out Satan, just like it doesn't make sense for a king to oppose the very same people in his kingdom. Or if a husband and wife are divided against one another, what more do you need to do to try and cause more chaos? There's enough conflict there on its own that house will fall all by itself. There's no need to accuse Jesus of being Satan because the devil's not that dumb. Our Lord Jesus, on the other hand, is the one that's come to bring to light all the goodness of God for all of his people. Not just for the teachers of the law back in that day, but for you today too. Come and see Jesus for who he really is, the Son of God, powerful in word and deed, the one who's come to bring salvation to the entire world, but especially to you. Now, if you ask me, that sounds like good news. Thanks for joining me today for Good News with the Christ Bearer. We'll see you again next week, because God's got even more good news for you.